What you got going on right there, no?
We out, bro. What you mean?
What's that right there, man?
What up, y'all?
That?
Welcome to 40 ounce.
You got Walking Dead going on and shit, nigga.
Hey, welcome to 40 ounce hoops, y'all. I had to make sure I started that abruptly so y'all catch that. Man, my name is
back to the 40 ounce hoops.
Welcome back to 40 ounce hoops. Barbershop talks come right to you. We got Noah back in the building. My name is Ken, and we got
B-Love.
Noah is back.
We got Noah back.
Apologize. Noah, we've been missing you, man. Where you been, man?
I apologize. I've been working, bro, hard, G. I
Get
apologize on my absence.
Grind don't stop. We recording as the Bulls and Bucks game is going on, but this has pretty much been our standstill. We pretty much start towards the end of that last game we recording, so we keep an eye on this in the background as we chop it up about these games today. And we're gonna start off with the Celtics and Nets, of course. If you've been following us so far, our two favorite series have been these 2-7 matchups, and the Grizzlies against the Wolves, and then the Celtics against the Nets. And man, what y'all think tonight, man? What y'all think from what y'all saw?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. The game was good, but I had a problem with the defense was insane. Like on Kevin Durant and Kyrie, they was locking them down. They sent doubles. They could never hold the ball. They could never dribble. They couldn't do anything. But in the result, it was foul. It was a lot of stoppage this game.
What you think?
Oh yeah, man. Say towards the second half is where the defense really took place. You know, at first the first quarter, it was 57 points total, team total. Because I played the under. Luckily, hit the under. It was 225. It hit 221. So thank you, Jesus.
Yes, sir.
But yes, and I was like, man, why are they high paced? I didn't know Brooklyn would fast start like that. 33 points in the first quarter. Their highest quarter, I think, in the series. Don't quote me. But yes, I was just like, oh man, Brooklyn trying to make some noise. And then all of a sudden, just like we knew, just like we said, the Celtics, man. And you know what? They may sweep them motherfuckers. They may sweep them. I said on my bad, y'all. But I did say that the Nets, I said it yesterday, the Nets may not win at home. They may not win at home. At home, they're not that well.
You said they're not a good. You did say in the last video, you said they're not a good home. Oh, there go Tatum. Yes.
Betting wise, statistically wise, they are not who they thought they were. As we mentioned that as well. But yes, it's it could be a sweep. It could be hot take. Could be a sweep. Celtics looking that good.
Sweep.
I said Celtics in 6 earlier, but
I still have Celtics in 6.
Them losing game 1 took away their heart.
Yeah.
The Nets had that. So now it's man, do we just wait on the draft? You know what I'm saying?
Can we talk about coaching? What do y'all think about Steve Nash? I don't really.
I like Steve.
I kind of agree with Stephen A's point. Sorry, y'all, for getting to the stream late.
You're all good.
But ultimately, Stephen A's point said he's not looking at Steve Nash. He's looking at the GM, and he's looking at ownership. And I kind of agree with that because if you know Steve Nash as a player, he could do everything except for defend. So we're basically talking about a point guard that had the potential to offer you 30 points and 13 assists. So when it comes down to the team that he has at his disposal, I don't think that coaching offense is the problem. But I do think that personnel and off-the-court issues loomed larger than playoffs this year.
Okay, so as we gather our points, you pretty much just joined right on time perfectly. We were just talking about our takeaways from the Celtics and Nets. I just want to add on, KD was looking very human. The Celtics had KD looking human. And when you making Bruce Brown be the offensive and to start it off, that gets everybody out their rhythm. That's their game plan. We'll live with Bruce Brown trying to be the offensive.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been.
Bruce Brown. Hey, shout out Bruce Brown. He was the MVP. Shout out Bruce Brown. Shout out Goran Dragic. Kyrie and KD. It was really I'm not gonna say Kyrie and KD played bad.
Defense. It was the defense.
Defense was too much. It was suffocating.
It was probably the defense because Smart got his award today, so they were like, let's go ahead and show him why. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Deservedly so.
Let's step it up as a unit, for him. You can't win an award and then lose. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like you getting your championship ring from last year, and then all of a sudden, or last season, and then y'all lose home opener. You don't want to lose your homecoming game. Y'all remember high school and college. Y'all don't want to lose them games. It's the same thing with Smart.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
Okay. I just want to say I apologize for being late, but because I am late and I know I jumped in on the back point of this topic, I wanted somebody to just bring it forward full circle so I know where we at, so I could give y'all these stats as we move forward.
Oh yeah, no, you didn't really miss much. We basically talking about what you heard. Yeah, Celtics and that's like this takeaway is pretty much you pop right in perfectly. Yeah. So we getting the mini stats and whatnot. I did want to ask y'all. So, do y'all think the Ben Simmons potential for him to pop up at Game 3 or Game 4? Do y'all think that could change much, or do you think Ben may be a little rusty and he may not be much of a?
I think it changes everything.
Go ahead, Noah. Come on.
I think that changes everything. What have they been missing? Defense. The Celtics missing the Time Lord. If Ben Simmons come in, he's coming in switching on everything. He don't even got to play offense. He just got to switch everything, play center. That's what they've been struggling at the center position. Brooklyn. I think it makes a big difference. I think it might be.
I like what I saw from Drummond. Drummond ain't as dynamic as Ben Simmons in that position. I think he can do what Drummond does. But I thought Drummond did pretty good today.
Hey, I want to hear B Love on that one because I feel like that's a little too hot.
The big man analysis from B Love, man. That's his segment.
I think that one's a little too hot because I'm gonna just warm the pot up a little bit. I do think that Ben Simmons will make a difference because I still think that playoff series are won on defense. And at this point, when we kind of look at who we know he is, we haven't seen Ben Simmons play basketball since this time last year. No cap. That really happened. We haven't seen him. So with that being said, we know he can pass the ball. We know he can't shoot. And we know he won't even drive or dunk when it's time. Because of that, that is the prime time for Mr. B Love to warm one up.
Where B Love went?
Oh, I'm here. Okay. My bad.
Okay, he here. Let's go.
Okay. But yes, I want to talk about. You said the big man, like with Drummond.
No, we're talking about Ben Simmons possibly coming back on the tail end of the series.
Okay, Ben Simmons does not need to come back. You're throwing a monkey wrench in the damn unit if you do so. We've been playing without. That's how I say we like. If I was,
I agree.
But we've been playing as a unit. Let's bringing back like we were talking about LaMarcus Aldridge. Let's bringing back Blake Griffin. You may as well just bring in everybody that hasn't played at this point.
The only issue is the examples you gave is them niggas are old. LaMarcus Aldridge is old. Blake Griffin is old, and to tell the truth, Ben Simmons is probably no worse than second team all defense.
But what I'm saying is, how will you gel
Ben Simmons, Ben Simmons.
In a playoff setting? How will you gel
on a new team that he still has no game practice or flow with? So I guess I'll pick it from there. I didn't have a lot to say, but for what he can offer on the court, I actually think Ben Simmons becomes a liability. Now, I know his team is looking for defense, but the only thing that Ben Simmons comes to the picture and adds is playmaking. Harden, my bad, I'm sorry, wrong team. Kyrie is in a different bag right now, and it's not necessarily just to score, but he's ultimately using his shot creation to get off a couple of assists too. But if you kind of take away what Uncle Drew is doing right now, what did Ben Simmons come back for? He doesn't space the floor, and the plus, I think he's a plus, I think he's a plus on defense, but I don't know if he did anything to actually benefit the team at this point in this series where they're already clearly on the ropes. So I can't say that Ben Simmons coming back is going to save or give them the glimmer of hope that they think they need.
I think Ben Simmons is, if he was to come back, I hope he get his. It
gets sweat.
It gets sweat. I was gonna say
against what? Thank you, Bran. Against what?
I was gonna say if Ben Simmons comes back against the Celtics game 3 and 4, I was gonna say he's coming back to a pressure cooker, and I don't know if he's ready psychologically because he may get hacked. It may be Hacker-Ben. It may be sag off of him out there. Are you going?
Let me just interject one. If you've been away from basketball for a whole year, you better be ready to shoot some fucking free throws if you've been hacked.
You could have been practicing on the Nerf ball.
Hey, right.
Hey, bro. Back on your door.
I need 60% to now be 72%. So I know you did something while you've been off the court, flexing your jewelry and being light-skinned and pretty to all the interviewees. Like, it's like Ben Simmons is chasing media women instead of playing basketball, man. Let's not forget what got you the icy chain in the first place.
I think Ben Simmons deserves the respect of he is a plus if he comes back. I don't think that he hurts the team at all. No, seriously, Ben is okay. Come on, Ben is like Draymond but athletic.
Literally.
Come on now. Like, Ben is a plus.
All right. Okay. Because I know you've played basketball. Have you ever, and this is saying Ben is the best player, which I don't believe he is, but have you ever been on a team where you didn't have your best player and y'all's confidence hit a stride to where you almost didn't need him? In the back of the mind, you know you need your best player, but you know that you can play out of body and do something. I feel like Ben at this point is the opposite. For the players that have taken these steps forward, they have to take a step backwards to try and get him into the lineup. And I don't know if he offers enough to where you should have to minimize yourself to incorporate him.
Hey, in my Bran voice, get Claxton big ass out the paint and put Ben Simmons in there. Get Claxton on the bench.
Hey, so what we doing in Bran voice? We passing the ball to Ben Simmons in post-ups?
I mean, you letting him
to get his big ass in the paint?
Let him roll. Let him roll and play me.
You know how to roll.
Yeah, pick and roll.
Yeah, only because he had a whole off season of eating.
I mean, he doesn't shoot the three anyway, so I guess.
But it's all decent.
End of the day, Ben Simmons passing is amazing. Ben Simmons will dunk on you. That's all I want to say. Go ahead.
I still don't think that it's enough. Like, we know what he does. So I don't even think his teammates would be surprised. I don't think you can insert Ben Simmons to a playoff lineup at this point and it be that beneficial when he ain't played real 5-on-5 basketball till last week.
That's a fair.
Who he picking up out here in full court press? A Kardashian?
I mean, defensively, look, in practice, I'm going against KD and Kyrie. They gonna wake me up on defense. That's all I'm saying.
I just say all that to say in an elaborated form, even where I think his pluses are as a defender, I don't think he scares me walking back into this series at this point. I mean, you got to talk to characters like that have been doing it all year, like characters that have found new identities, new responsibilities within their team. Ben didn't play basketball this year, not with his old team, not with his new team. And let's not forget, basketball is based off of chemistry and synergy. As much as you're able to win, it's off the trust of your brother. They don't trust Ben. Yeah, they don't trust Ben to make an on-time rotation. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Like, I think that Ben has been out of the game too long to make an immediate impact. Honestly, he just need to watch them ride their wave this year. If they fall short, they fall short. And he should just charge himself for it next year. But this year, he's not really going to make a difference on the court like that because his offensive game style requires too much catering to, and there's no time for that.
All right, we can leave that one there, man, because I wanted to get to a good point. Huh? Yeah.
I said, yeah.
Oh yeah. Because I wanted to get to a point you made, Noah. Actually, when you were you mentioned how James Harden seems like he's kind of switched his style up and kind of going to the Philly and Raptors game. I thought that was a good point that you made, and I just wanted you to kind of expand upon that. And I had like a takeaway from that, like a reaction to that. But you could go ahead and say that again.
Yeah, we could segue into game 2, Raptors versus Sixers.
Game 3, right? That was game 3, right?
That's game 2. Raptors had
game 3, but the second night.
Yeah.
Y'all talked about Toronto and Philly.
Yes,
yeah.
That's 3-0 right now. That's one of them series that got started early. It's been wrapped up since it began.
Yeah.
Raptors been
wrapped up.
Raptors had the
I like it.
Whole time. It's really been just straight Raptors today. Philly had got a clutch shot in OT, and they came back. The only lead Philly had was the 3 Joel hit at the end. But
they only won by 3, so that's enough to get them a win, right?
Yeah. But in terms of James Harden,
James Harden had plus minus of 0, by the way. I just checked that.
Hold on, man. I'm the statistician.
I
wanted to throw that one out there. I had to throw that one out there.
I like it, man. I love that. But no, you're right. As I'm scrolling in and I look at that, you look at the 19, you see 10 assists, you would think he did more, but you're absolutely right. His plus minus is smack dab at 0.
I mean, he just lost he has no aggressiveness, Kyrie. Like, he gets the ball, he give it to Maxey. I never see him look for a drive. He's do his isolation step back 3. He's not looking for the drive. He looks for his passing is elite. We not gonna knock his playmaking. It's elite, but he just don't give me that like superstar. I'm gonna take over the game. Give me the ball.
We're gonna take Harden one step further tonight. Noah, I'm gonna give you his stats, and I want you to give me maybe a 15 to 30-second answer about what he's still doing well versus what is lacking. And B-Love, we're gonna look for the same thing. So tonight in particular, because we talk about Harden, and I think for your average player, I think these numbers are respectable. It was 19 points, 10 assists, big kudos on the 10 assists with 6 rebounds. That's a pretty complete game. But we're at the point to where we know Harden to have been so prolific that we're looking for more from him. So why is that?
Like I said, lack of aggression. He just doesn't look engaged to me. Like he plays well, but there's been no point in the game where it's like, I'm going to get a bucket right here. Like, I'm going to score right here no matter what. It's been Tyrese Maxey and obviously Joel Embiid, but he going to give it to Maxey. Maxey going to do a hard drive to the basket, try to get a layup or something. You never see any of that from Harden. Very passive.
B-Love? Harden, please. I need a Harden take.
Well, I mean, Harden's doing what he's supposed to do. Like in the playoffs, we know what Harden is capable of, right? But does he shine in the playoffs? Unfortunately, no. So Noah, yes, he's not going to. He gives us enough, like you said, with stat wise, Tay. But to the extreme, like the Kyrie, like how he did with the 39 points. No, you will not see that from Harden.
I know y'all love a good take, so I think I got one.
What is it?
Harden is a postseason Westbrook. He does shit all year that looks good on paper. Then he gets to the playoffs. He kind of does it.
I was going to say
he doesn't win.
He doesn't win, though.
It doesn't win, though. And honestly, Kyrie, he still does it. But, like, when we talk about the 19, 10, and 6 tonight, like, this is a person that you're paying to be the best man on your roster. Those numbers are secondary. I know that he has a Joel Embiid. It's like asking Kobe to play second fiddle to Shaq, but Kobe still was going to splash out on you one way. He was going to be phenomenal one way, whether he locked down, clapping the floor on perimeter defense, or whether he popped a couple trades after being quiet all game. I don't think Harden has any identity on his new team, and I don't think he has any idea of where to be comfortable.
That's a good takeaway. And I feel like Harden without the driving and the, and he'll have some games where he's hot from 3 and he'll have some games where he's bad. He's always been kind of streaky as a 3-point shooter anyway. But Harden without those things, he's more of a kind of a Ricky Rubio, really. Like, You know, and and he kind of
oh man.
But this happens with guys as they regress. I was saying in the chat earlier, we've gotten spoiled with the anomalies of the LeBrons and CP3s. Like, but historically, that doesn't happen very often.
Hey, fam, but did you call him Ricky Rubio though?
James Harden is kind of turning into Ricky Rubio. Like,
that's good. That's good.
I mean, Ricky Rubio, he'll have some good games. It's like, man, he had a lot of assists. He made a couple good, like, scoring plays, but he's not the James Harden James Harden used to drop 50.
Well, just so we don't overcapitalize it, I kind of want to use this point to segue slightly to what we talked about last night with Trae Young struggling because he's not shooting free throws. Do you think that the same way on paper, Trae Young is flat out struggling? Do you think that James Harden is suffering that same consequence with the pump fake where people run up your back that the NBA is not enforcing as hard this year?
I'll say no. I have never seen James Harden. I got to get the exact play-by-play, but James Harden doesn't try. And not as of recent. Like, he just not been showing it.
But Noah, are you telling me that James Harden didn't shoot 4 free throws when people ran up his back? He did. He shot 4 per game.
Right.
Go ahead. My bad.
Oh. That's what I was telling her. I'm like, is he hurt or something? He relied, hey, Tyrese Maxey, do it. Joel, do it. He doesn't push.
I don't think James Harden can be third fiddle. I don't think mentally for a team to sustain, I don't think after a celebration, right? I think James is okay with Joel getting his numbers. I don't know if I don't know if James is okay with Tyrese Maxey kind of outshining him. Like, James kind of, for every moment that he left OK City, was meant to be a star. And something about him can't be okay with scoring 19 points in a playoff game.
What if he's just trying to get his team involved, to make sure they're warm in case we need you down the line?
We're talking about Mr. Go Party after the game. How can a person like that necessarily be concerned about team first? Anybody can grow and they can change, but let's give a little credit for who he is or who he was. We knew he used to turn up after the games, but I think that's a little bit more of a reflection of who he is. You want this standalone highlight star that mentally, I think his twilight is beyond him.
Wow. Well, they're up there in age. I mean,
Let's get some age on Harden because I'm actually interested to see that one. So
like I said,
about 31.
Like I said, this time, I mean, in old days in the NBA, obviously technology is getting much better and you have longer careers. But Isaiah Thomas was out the league at this point. Like the Pistons, Isaiah Thomas, the Larry Bird was what? He was close to retired at this point in his career.
I gotta say it firm. We now, as much as he changed the game, rules changed, opinions changed, offensive sets and spacings changed. All becomes a James Harden. But looking at the number, he's 32 years old.
That's it.
I mean, you only say that's it, but what 32-year-old ever changed the NBA?
What do you mean by that?
I'm asking at 32 years old, who was still so great?
Steve Nash.
Hand checking rules. I'm actually a big fan of Steve Nash, and he stole the MVP from Kobe that year, and that was the year Kobe averaged 35 a game. So I can't even get behind that.
Steve Nash had a real late development of his game. He was an all-star. He was all-star level, but for him to start getting MVPs, he started at 32, right? That was his first.
But is Harden now the equivalent of a Nash?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. He don't play defense. Nash didn't do that.
Yeah, I think probably less efficiency from shooting. Yeah.
It's kind of tough, man, because when I did the research tonight and I seen Harden was 32, it saddened me a little bit because for the last 3 years, I love to hate on him. I hated what he brought to the NBA from carrying, traveling rules, from over dribbling. What'd you say, Noah?
I said that was my boy.
18 free throws a game.
At least somebody liked him,
Right,
man. But
right.
just from the opposite side, I'll just pass it to you. But from my side, I hated it, man. So all you.
I was gonna say, I mean, we can leave that there because I mean we're gonna have more Harden takes as the playoffs progress, and they are 3-0, so they will win this series, and we'll really see into the thick of it, you know, in the next round. We'll see what happens. So I wanted to leave that there, and
everybody talking to their fans. They letting them know what they said. From Bran, from the hot take that he want them to remember. I'm going to remind people, remember our boy is 32 years old, and I'm gonna lead into every other statement just like that, because I honestly think that the heyday of James Harden being like a real product and a problem of the NBA, but that the NBA helped develop because they customized rules for him, he's already over with.
You think Harden's already over? Okay, that's almost as bold as Brand's Wiggins take, which I guess ended up being. So I was gonna. So Brand, okay. So that's a hot take from you, Tate. But I want to get into it's a new segment. Bran, hot takes. What's the hot take for today?
Hot take for today. Okay. So I mean, like I said, Knicks, they may get swept. They're not a great home team. So let's talk about that. Does the Bulls really have a chance against the Bucks? The Bulls are right now.
They're winning right now.
No. So the one stat that I remember hearing all year, even when the Bulls were good, and let's not act like, at the beginning of the season when LaMelo and Lonzo were respectively leading their teams to unprecedented territory. Of course, people wanted to big up LeVar. No disrespect, LeVar. Shout out to you getting your boys in the league. Shout out Black fathers. But now we playing basketball at the highest level. And the one thing about the Bulls that never translated is they didn't beat quality teams. So although they were one of the league's best teams, they basically beat up on your bottom third and lost to everybody that was respectively above them. So I don't know if the Bulls and or any of the players that represent them can really be elevated to that point.
Okay. Could you say the Bulls in the playoffs, during the playoff series is going on right now?
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls are about to win.
Yeah.
Can the Bulls go further than what Minnesota's doing?
They're playing Milwaukee. Let me rein it in. And I don't because Mr. Only Run and Dunk the Basketball is going to run and dunk the basketball until Chicago goes back to the Windy City.
I say okay because so Minnesota they probably win maybe one more, but can the Bulls win? Can they take it to 7? That's my hot take. Can they take it to 7? Because we didn't talk about the series with the Bulls. We thought the Bulls, Bucks. We thought that was like hands down like over. That's really what are the Bulls doing there, but. Did anyone really, out of all of us, did anyone really see the Bulls?
Let's kick it to Mr. Chicago, and that would be Noah himself. This guy is really in tune with what happens in the city from a college, a high school, a collegiate standpoint. He really has his eye on the city and the talent they're developing. So Noah, just as a fan of the city that you grew up in, can you give us any points on what you see about Chicago and if they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this year?
They've been bad, but they made me like they made me proud tonight. They proud. I was like, man, DeRozan, just like everybody said, he not gonna show up in the playoffs. We not gonna
all that.
Vucevic gonna be terrible. We're not gonna play any defense on Giannis. But tonight, Patrick Williams, MVP. He stopped.
Listen, man. I have no faith in the Bulls this series at all because I didn't believe in Vucevic doing anything, but he had 20 and 10 tonight as I'm looking and on great percentage, and that's an anomaly, so they won a game.
And that game is still ongoing.
It's still ongoing as we watching it. It's 5 minutes left as I'm looking at the game down on my phone, so you guys can looking at it. So I'm looking at DeMar has 37 right now with 5 minutes remaining, and the Bulls are only up 8. So we could be saying this right now, and this could age like milk by the time this gets out.
Yeah. I just wanted to let Noah know that he passed a free one as like where you wanted to start for the night. DeMar does have 37, and Kyrie beat you to it, but 15 to 26, man, you ain't want to plug in the city?
Man, I'm just like, I told you, I'm excited. We winning. I couldn't believe it. Shit, I
didn't expect Vucevic to give us 20 and 10 on good percentage.
Exactly.
Okay.
To show up.
He shoot. Why is he out there? Why is he out there shooting?
Oh my
Bran,
why is he out there? 1 of 5?
We can't have a segment every episode of Bran say. Honestly, we might need to make it like Shaqtin' a Fool. We might need to put like get your big ass in the paint. Like, we might need to make that a segment.
Look at the big man shooting the threes. Let's do since you just statistic analysis there.
Vucevic didn't shoot. He didn't shoot any.
He didn't shoot.
My bad. That's wrong. That was free throws. It was free throws. So he was 9 of 16 from the floor with 3 of 7 for 3 with 21 points at this moment with 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. He's on track.
I'll take 3 for 7 from 3.
That's real good. Yeah, that's real good. That's real good. Surprisingly, because he's just as good as Valanciunas shooting the 3. Come on, man. Come on, where his big ass?
As who? You know
what I'm saying? Valanciunas.
Jonas?
No. Yeah, the Pelicans.
This is way better than Jonas shooting the 3. Like you're using a rebounder and comparing him to a shooter that rebounds. That's not the same.
Yeah, right.
Look at their 3-point percentages. Tell me what's good.
I didn't know y'all was gonna work me so hard tonight. I'm gonna get quiet, but I'm gonna bring that back. Y'all go ahead, move it along. Okay. And I got these percentages for Vucevic and who, Bran?
Valanciunas.
Gotcha.
Factor in environment. And man, it's the reason I have this. This is my Warriors shirt, my Lucky Warriors shirt. I will.
Okay.
And I am going to. It's Michelin Ness as well. Never took the tag off, man. Like it's fresh, man. Hey, and I'm gonna wear this on a Warriors Day because I think when we get close to the championship, I'm gonna make sure I wear this. But I'm gonna have it right here just for now. My Lucky Warriors.
You're not getting close to the.
I wanted to talk, Bran. I thought about it today, and I'm very convinced. At first, I wasn't fully sure. I saw Devin Booker a little shaky with his injury, and now I'm very convinced Warriors to the chip. We the clear favorite. I'm looking around, and everybody else looks like they right here, right? Warriors look like they up there. I'm not even being biased. I'll debate it stat-wise and just what I see. Like, even if I wasn't a Warriors fan, seriously,
Well, let me tell you what I see, man. For one, your jacket is real fresh, but I believe that got you thinking and believe in oxygen that don't exist. Like, the Warriors is good, but let's not really forget that they are technically the one. Rep it, bro. Rep it. I'm cool with it. Rep it. But they are essentially like a soft 1 seed coming out the West. So, like, I need to make sure that you don't start getting carried away.
Soft.
I mean, you done put on the whole shirt.
I'm trying to get it on.
Well, tell us the rest of your take, or I have to plug back in on the Vucevic versus Valanciunas points.
I just wanted to say I'm convinced now Warriors to the chip, and I think we're going to get the chip. I don't trust nobody, even because, listen, every team, I don't care how good you think they are, they look the same when Steph Curry, Poole, and Clay come around and start raining threes. They all look lost and doing this everywhere. Every team does it. Every time they like,
y'all win with the Ninja Turtle running point guard at 7-7-7 is like if Donatello, if Michelangelo is your point guard, like, can y'all still get it done? Because we're still talking about
Draymond is perfect for this team. He's the playmaker.
I feel like he's one of the most overstated stars in basketball.
He's the best. He's the best non-scorer in NBA history.
It's because he has the best shooters. There's no way Draymond maintains that type of value without them.
He's the best defender of all time, damn near. What do you mean?
But we're talking about defense then. Shane Battier playing defense. No, Bran. I'm cool with Draymond being a top-tier defensive player. But he's now saying that because he plays defense, it makes his offensive players better. And that's cap.
Bro, what? That's not what he said, bro.
Yes, he tried to maximize what he does for the team. But what I'm saying, Draymond's value would never be anywhere near close to a team that doesn't threaten from 3-point. Just put him on Chicago. Go ahead.
I was about to say, listen, you may be right about that. If Draymond wasn't no Golden State, no. If Draymond wasn't no Golden State, he does need.
But he's there.
But when he's there, he's cold. Like, we're not talking about if he wasn't on Golden State. I'm talking about while he's on Golden State, the way he works with Steph.
Hey, we supposed to be here for the sake of the people, man. You got to let me play devil's advocate sometimes. I agree. I've never been the biggest fan, but I still think that I think Draymond is actually like, I think he's very good. And by very good, I mean like an 8 out of 10. I don't think he's necessarily the cornerstone. I know we like the things that he brings, the leadership, the toughness, but Draymond cannot excel in those roles if you need him to score just 15 points a game. Draymond can't even score 12 points a game. So it's a luxury that he out there with all them Splash Brothers, and whether they like it or not, they have a new addition. Because whoever done splashed without a pool.
It's a pool party.
All I know is no scarier 5 than Steph, Poole, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond. That 5 is the best 5 in this playoffs. I don't care.
Hey, Kyrie, if your boys win, you got to host a pool party, and we're going to host a whole episode from their rooftop. We're going to make
it a pool party.
Pool party.
I need some floaties and everything.
All that, Bran, and I need to make sure that a drink is always poured.
Listen,
drink responsibly.
One more takeaway with the Warriors. I just wanted to talk about how it's no other team that when – it's like these guys are playing, being so scared. They're trying their best to stop the run the whole game. They're like, oh, no, let's not have a Golden State run happen. Oh, no. Don't let Steph get hot. Don't let so-and-so get hot. You trying so hard to just stop a run. But once it starts, it's done with. You look up, and it's like, dang, wait, we losing by 20. It was just a 4-point game. It happens quick. It smack you real quick.
And I'm going to reinforce that because I've seen it too. And it was the opposite way. My team – we shut down when the third quarter arrived. So we're not going to mention them. We're done talking about them, as I've continued to say. But I have seen it from the opposite side of basketball, where the Warriors are the actual complete opposite. How I said my team shuts down. The Warriors go to halftime, and I damn near don't even think that they talk about went wrong. I think that, they huddle up. They do a little – I think they have a good time, and then they just come out and bust your ass in the second half because the way that they ignite.
I'm sending the link. Less than a minute left.
All right, well, let's tie it up in a minute. What we doing, or even are we continuing?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm about it. I'm about out of there, man.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. It's been 40 Ounce Hoops. It's been Cam. Barbershop Charles come right to you. We're gonna be right back either tomorrow or the day after, man, with more takeaways. So there we go.
Yes, sir. We back. I'm back.
I'll let y'all.
Please comment on the rifle y'all saw at the beginning of that. You know what I'm saying? That was funny. Taylor don't even know what we talking about with that. He gonna see it on the playback. That was an accessory, man. And Warriors in 4, man. 4. That's my prediction for the playoffs. 4.
I could do one more segment, but like I'm pure stats and facilitation, but I could get down with it, I hate, that we're actually stuck at the point to where these last minute streams are our go-to, man. I think we have so much more to talk about. We got a little bit more insight, creative opinions. But I guess ultimately, we did talk about it. That's probably a wrap today.
Regardless in a day or two, y'all. So leave it there. Damn, I want to talk about predictions. Hey, we'll get to that. Y'all want to do predictions?
Run it back then. Just run it back, man. You got to say that. Yeah, we could do it like a 10-minute take.
2 minutes of predictions. 2 minutes of predictions, and we good to go.